All right, let's talk about one of the most feared parts of the IELTS exam, writing task 1. Specifically, that moment your heart sinks when you see not one, but two charts, a pie chart and a table. It looks like a total nightmare, I know, but stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to have a super simple strategy to absolutely nail it.
So, let's dive right into the challenge. You've got 20 minutes on the clock. That's it. In that time, you have to decode two different visuals, pick out the most important trends, compare them, and then write a flawless 150-word summary. It feels like you're being asked to solve a puzzle while a timer is counting down to 0.
Okay, so picture this. It's test day, and this pops up on your screen. You've got a pie chart over here showing what's causing land degradation all over the world, and then bam! Right next to it, a table that breaks it all down for 3 specific regions. There is so much data to look at, and you can almost hear that clock ticking.
And that's the big question, isn't it? Where do you even begin? Do you tackle the pie chart first? The table? Do you just start throwing numbers onto the page? It's that moment where your brain just freezes. But you know what? That feeling is totally normal, and we're about to make it go away for good. Here is the secret weapon. The key to turning all that chaos into a perfectly structured answer is to stop thinking you need to be a creative genius under pressure. No way. All you need is a blueprint, a simple 4-part structure that you can rely on every single time. And here it is, your game plan. Step 1, a quick intro where you just rephrase the question in your own words. Easy. Step 2, and this one is crucial, the overview. This is the big picture summary. And get this, you use absolutely no numbers here. None. Then you just knock out 2 body paragraphs. One for the pie chart, one for the table. Boom, done. 4 simple steps.
Okay, listen up, because this is the part where almost everybody messes up. They panic and start writing immediately. You have got to resist that urge. The first 2 or 3 minutes are for one thing and one thing only: analysis. Seriously, the quality of your entire answer depends on what you do in these first few minutes.
So, first up, the pie chart. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the biggest piece of the pie, right? Overgrazing at a massive 35%. That's your #1 global cause. And then you see that the next 2, deforestation and overcultivation, are super close behind. There you go. You've just found the key points for your first body paragraph. All right, now let's shift focus over to the table. And here's a pro tip. For now, ignore all the little numbers inside. Just scan your eyes down that final column. Total land degraded. One glance, and it just jumps right out at you, doesn't it? Europe, at 23%, is way ahead of the others. And that's the second main point for your overview paragraph. See how easy that was? Now it's time to connect the dots. This is where you put on your detective hat. You're not just listing facts, you're finding the story. So you see Europe is the highest, but then you notice something really interesting. The main reason for degradation is totally different in each region. And then you spot a golden nugget. Oceania has a big fat 0 next to overcultivation. Finding these little details is what separates a good answer from a great one. Okay, so you've got your key points, you're feeling good. But how do we take this answer from pretty good to absolutely amazing? Well, it all comes down to your vocabulary. Using the right words will make you sound like an expert. So look, anybody can write overgrazing is 35%. That's okay, but it's kind of boring. You're going to say that it accounts for 35%, or that it constitutes the largest proportion. See the difference? Using powerful verbs like these makes your writing sound so much more sophisticated. And it's the exact same deal with comparisons. You're not a robot just spitting out data. You're an analyst. So instead of just listing numbers, you'll use phrases like substantially higher than, or connecting words like in contrast or whereas. This shows the examiner you don't just see the data, you understand it. All right, enough theory. Let's see what this actually looks like when it all comes together. We're going to take a top-scoring Band 9 model answer and break it down piece by piece to see exactly how it uses our blueprint. First up, the introduction. Look at that. It doesn't just copy the question word for word. It uses slick synonyms, illustrates instead of shows, principal causes instead of main reasons. It's a simple, elegant paraphrase that just gets the job done perfectly. Now this is a textbook overview. It clearly states the 2 main trends we found in our analysis, the #1 cause globally and the region that suffered the most. And look closely, what's missing? Numbers. Not a single percentage in sight. It is just the big picture. Perfect.
Moving on to body paragraph 1. It starts exactly where it should, with the biggest slice of the pie, overgrazing. And check out that high-level vocabulary in action. Accounted for, representing. This is exactly the kind of language that makes an examiner smile.
For the second body paragraph, notice that smooth transition, turning to the regional data. So clean. It zooms right in on Europe, the main character in the table's story, and then immediately backs it up with the key figures. It's logical, clear, and easy to follow. And here it is, the knockout punch. That one little word, whereas. It's so powerful. It sets up that awesome comparison we found, that zero value for Oceania. That single phrase shows the examiner you can analyze and contrast data at a really high level. It's brilliant. So you see, getting a high score on this task isn't about luck. It's about having a system. You now have the 4-step blueprint. You know how to analyze the data, and you've got the vocabulary to describe it like a pro. You have all the tools you need. So what are you waiting for? Go find a practice test and try it out.